I'm going to show you how to use the website Padlet in order to have virtual discussions and just kind of a place to communicate with your students, especially during virtual learning. This is a great tool to be familiar with. So first, I would just go to padlet.com. You can see up here at the top. It's super easy to create a free account. You can even do it through your Google, which is what I set up. You can see here that I do have a dashboard full of some pre-made Padlets just because it is something that I use frequently. So before I show you how to make your own, I am going to just give you a look into a couple of mine. So this one was about immigration. I had a couple of questions for students, and then once they are given the link, they get to this screen. They would click a little plus sign that shows up in the bottom right corner, and they add a box. So for this particular one, I did not want it to be anonymous, and so I just told them to use their name as the title of their box. And as you can see, it posts like little virtual sticky notes with their answer. They're also able to go in and like somebody else's comment, or they can add a comment to that box. Once you hover over a box, you can see that you can edit the box, you can add links, you can add pictures, you can also delete it by clicking the trash can. And then the three dots, a lot of kids do like to play around with the colors and just make it cute, especially if they have a little bit extra time while they're waiting for their classmates to finish their post. So just your basic options when you click those three dots in the corner. Another one I want to show you is this one. So this is kind of the same thing, but this is another idea of how you can use Padlet in the classroom. So at the beginning of a unit, I would ask kids maybe what they already know about a topic, what they want to know, and then we could also go back eventually and I could add a column here and we could type what they've learned. So KWL charts are a popular way to kind of access prior knowledge before starting a new unit and to figure out what your students want to learn about. So that's another way that you could use a Padlet. When I go back to my Padlet, I am now going to show you how you can create your own. So up here in the top left corner, once you make your account, you would click Make a Padlet, and there are different options as to what you want your discussion board to look like. I typically use wall just because it's very easy, sometimes shelf if I'm doing different categories with different questions. I have used map before just because I'm a geography teacher, so seeing it on a world map is pretty cool. Timeline, grid, canvas, and it kind of tells you like exactly what you're able to do with the boxes depending on which one you choose. I'm just going to go with the basic wall, and then you will have these modify options pop up on the side. So the first thing you're going to want to do is name your Padlet. So right here, I could call it, say, Canada KWL. That is the next unit that my students are starting. Description. So if you want to give them directions here or just tell them a little bit about what they need to be doing, you could put a sentence in there. Icon just shows a little picture up in the top left corner. You can do this with like an emoji or something. You don't have to. You can add your own picture. But if you don't do anything, then you'll just click no icon and it'll look like it does over here. Then you can see that it creates a new unique link for you, and that's the link that I would give to students, or you can even create it into a tiny URL to give to them for easier access. And then all about what it looks like. So the appearance of your Padlet, you do have some options on what you want it to look like, but you can also add a picture of your own if you don't like any of the preset options here. But they do have a lot. They have a lot of fun ones. So depending on maybe what my thing is all about, maybe I'll do a skyline for this one. Okay, then I'm going to do my color scheme so you can make it dark or light. It just depends on what you want. And the font, you have 4 to choose from. Next, the attribution, you can display the author name above each post. That is actually only if the kids have a Padlet account. If they don't, you can do what I did in the past, where you tell them to put their name as the title. So it's completely up to you if you want to turn that on or not. It really doesn't matter. It'll just say anonymous unless students use a Padlet account of their own. Then for a new post position, whoever posts the most recent thing on our Padlet board, you can make it show up first or last, depending on maybe what you're doing. Comments. So I know that in things like Google Classroom and Canvas, there are discussion boards where students can comment on other students' posts. Sometimes that can be a great thing for collaboration, and sometimes it can be a not so great thing for classroom management. So that is completely up to you whether or not you want to allow them to comment on each other's. In reactions, I really like this feature. If you click on that, you can choose if you want to allow students to react to each other's posts. Like instead of just commenting, they could give it 1 out of 5 stars. They could vote up or down. They could just like it with a heart, or they could even give it a numerical grade. So if I turn on like, then little heart options will come under each post. Then require approval. I've never done this just because I want it to be kind of like an open, free-flowing discussion board for my students. And so I don't require them to get it approved by me before posting. But filter profanity, I've never had an issue with this, but I think it's such a cute option to automatically replace bad words with nice emojis. So I always turn that on just in case. And then you can see up at the top, you'll click next and then start posting. So how I would get this to my students, if you click share up here in the top, you can just copy the link to your clipboard and then put the link in whatever LMS you're using, or put it on the board and they can type it in, just really whatever works best for your situation, or put it in the Zoom chat if you're doing virtual. You can also directly share it on Google Classroom, Twitter, Facebook, email, embed it. I do have a Padlet on my actual website that you're seeing this video on. And so in that case, I did the embed code. You can print, save as a PDF, and really there are a ton of different options. If I then go up to settings, it's just going to open that box from where I kind of figured out the display I wanted. And then these 3 dots are just if you want to clear all the posts. So sometimes I just use the same board for multiple classes. After my first hour is finished, we have gone through it, we've looked at the Padlet together, then I'll go here and click clear all posts. So then all of my first hour students are gone, and then I can use that same link for my second hour. But when students click the link to join the Padlet, they don't have to have an account. All that they will do is go click this plus sign in the bottom right corner, and it will just pop up their own virtual sticky note. So like I said, I've had them use their name as the title sometimes, but you don't have to. And then they would just click underneath to type whatever they're going to about the content. If they wanted to add a link, add a picture, change the color, do whatever they want to do, that is where they could do it there. After they type, all you do in order to post it is click outside to the left or the right or the top or the bottom, wherever the background is, and then it's posted. At that point, if they want to go in and edit anything, they can, and then again, click off to the side. If they want to play with the colors, they can do that as well. Then eventually, once a bunch of your students have posted, you will see just kind of a digital bulletin board of sticky notes here where they can communicate and collaborate with each other. So that is Padlet.